What up? 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 What's up, Raider Nation? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm here. I'm here. I finally was able to catch a press conference, ladies and gentlemen. I was finally able to catch a press conference. So definitely come on in, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully we can go in and listen to this press conference live. Let me make I missed the Josh McDaniels one because I was on my Darian Hopkins show. But we have a live with Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, and Marcus Epps. We have a press conference live here. So this is Devontae Adams. So Adams, Crosby. I was able to finally catch one. Crosby and Epps presser live. All right, so here we go. Let's check that out right there. Boom. What up, Raider Nation? What up? What up? What up? What up, Raider Nation? What up? What up? What up? What's up? What's up? We here. We here. We here for a Las Vegas Raiders conference, press conference live with Devontae Adams, Max Crosby, and Epps. Let me fix his name. Hold up. Let me fix his name. Let me fix his name. Shout out to the people that's in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all. I know that people might not gonna come up in here, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. But we waiting for this live to actually start. And once this starts, then we're gonna hear the audio of it. Make sure y'all come on in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. I was not expecting to go live today at all, but I have the time today, y'all. I have the time. I have the absolute time for this presser. And I want to hear what Devontae Adams got to say about the whole Jimmy Garoppolo thing. Knowing that Jimmy Garoppolo came out and said, he has the everything that's going on with Garoppolo and the injury and everything. So hopefully that y'all can see everything that's going on. So we definitely here, we definitely live. And if y'all don't want to be over on the Raiders side because there's a bunch of weirdos over there, make sure you come check it out over here. That's all I'm gonna say. Make sure you come check it out over here, man. But a little quick live for y'all today. It is just me. It's not even my co-host with the Nothing But Raiders podcast. It's not even with him. But we're gonna get this door. Robert Penner, what's going on? Robert Penner, what's going on, man? What's going on? We definitely here, man. We definitely here. Let me see. Raider live streams. Okay, so I'm still setting up in the back end because this was like last minute. It's like last minute when it comes to these presser lives. But I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. So any questions y'all want to ask me about Jimmy Garoppolo? Because I was going to pull a reel out. I was going to make a reel out of it. But I was just like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But we're going to talk some Raiders today. Absolutely. We're going to talk some Raiders today. And I just finished my audio podcast for my other podcast, which is the Darian Hopkins show. So shout out to y'all, man. I hope it's all good with you. It's all good with me, man. It's definitely all good with me. Definitely all good with me. But let me see if I can put my my banner thing at the bottom and just do that instead of having this banner up and all that stuff. But hey, we hear y'all. Here goes Devontae Adams.
Just trying to clarify what you meant by there were some disagreements, and it seems like some people ran with that a little bit, and just want to give you a chance to maybe set the record straight on what you meant.
Well, I mean, it's not really setting the record straight. I mean, I think a lot of things get taken out of context when you don't have an interview to look at or people don't know the full story. So at the end of the day, I mean, there's going to be opinions and there's going to be, you're not always going to see things the exact same way. But when you've earned a right to have an opinion or you You see things a certain way, or even, going into the operation this offseason, obviously, I made poke fun at having Aaron here a lot. And why would I not talk about having, best quarterback to play the game and the guy who I have a lot of history with. So that's who I had on my mind initially. So, that was never a slight at Jimmy. I didn't even know we were, pursuing Jimmy. So it had nothing to do with any of that. And then obviously I put something on social media saying, don't hit me up. Don't stop hitting me up if I haven't talked to you recently. Don't hit me up about this stuff. And I already said what that was about. That was clearing up the whole, me just getting bombarded with messages like, oh, what's going on? How you feel about this and this and that? So, that could have been anybody. But at the end of the day, like I said a couple times now, I'm excited to get to work with, the new guys. And Jimmy's a great guy. Love him to death. I didn't know him very well before he got here, but getting to work together a little bit, be around each other, getting to know him, he's a great guy, and definitely excited to get to work with him and everybody else that's in here. As far as the front office, I haven't had a relationship in the past. This is 10 years for me in this game, and I haven't had a relationship like what I have with those guys. So everything's get taken out of context. I wouldn't be here. I told you guys right after the Derek thing, I was here to stay and I wasn't going anywhere. So you can grab something and run with it if you want, just, to get clicks. And that's what people often do with me and things that I say, whether I misspeak or if I speak up. But at the end of the day, I'm a Raider and I'm excited to be here. I love my head coach, and I love the general manager here and everybody. From the top to the bottom. So I have no reason to lie. One thing I don't do is BS. So I'm not gonna make anything up when it comes to that. I'd rather keep my mouth closed if I have negative things to say. But when I say that these are some good men in this place that I really value the relationship that I have with them, I mean that. So. That's about all that needs to be said for that.
Yeah, it does feel, listening to you talk, that you're given a voice, and it's not just to hear you talk, but it's actually to listen to what you have to say, that they respect it. Do you get that sense that there's
correct? I've never been encouraged to speak up and share my feelings with the organization the way I have with these two guys. And I felt that from the first time that I got the call from them right after getting traded. That's the type of environment I was going to be coming into, just based off of what they heard about me, the respect they have for things I've done on the field. And, I try to give them that respect back. And obviously sometimes things get said and taken out of context, like I said, and it's never my intention to bring any type of negative attention or, throw off the focus of the team or whatever, which did not happen, by the way. We got a lot of guys in here that know me well by this point, and no, my intention is no, I just want to win. I'm here to try to win a Super Bowl like everybody else is on their team. So that's really my only focus. I'm not really, the thing is with me, and I'm unapologetically me. At the end of the day, I truly do not care what people have to say. So when I'm clearing things up and talking about this stuff, a lot of times it's me protecting other people that were involved. Like, I don't ever want Jimmy to feel a way, think that I didn't want him here, or I don't like him, or I don't want Josh to feel like, I post a picture with Ziggs and then they're like, oh, is it Josh that that must be the real problem. So y'all can do that. If you're that bored, like go play Monopoly or some shit. Cause
talk your shit, Devontae. Talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit.
Said publicly, probably everything else.
Thank you.
Is that the most difficult part of being a superstar, that people parse every word, every
typically? I'd say for the average person.
And let me know in the chat if y'all can actually hear the audio. Let me know in the chat.
These are the issues that are going on in the world. First of all, I don't pay attention. I live under a rock half the time. I find out stuff usually last. I told you I found out I was traded on Twitter. So I don't usually know what's going on with that, nor do I care. And I don't mean this in a malicious way at all, but I've become who I've become by not caring. Like I was in the dumps. I talked to you guys when I first got here. I was in one of the worst parts of my life when I was in the NFL, as far as, mental headspace and confidence wise and everything. And when I learned to stop caring about what other people think, like now, if I drop a ball in the game, it's just something that happened. It's not like, oh my God, there's 80,000 people in here. It's on TV. All these things. I don't really have the other factors that, those don't contribute to my mindset in a negative way. So when I hear about it, I'm like, you know, it is what it is. So it's definitely difficult for, you know, the average person in this position. But for me, I keep it rolling. I'm gonna keep it pushing the same way as if it never happened. And the damage control usually comes in to try to make sure people understand. And I don't want guys walking around feeling uncomfortable in the building or otherwise. And it usually only comes where I do decide to, you know, come forth and speak up to, you know, when I actually care about that person enough. And clearly I care about the people in this building to do that.
So right now, Jimmy G isn't practicing. What are some other ways that you can work on building a rapport with one another?
Tape, talk, all that stuff, learning each other. I think Aaron and I's relationship or connection on the field went to another level when our relationship off the field went to another level. So just chopping it up with him. I've got to know him pretty well. I mean, obviously it's only been about 6 weeks or so since we've been doing it, but I know a decent amount about him now, and I feel like that'll help us on the field, just knowing him and knowing the way he thinks. Some of the things he said to me about, you know, what he's seen from me on tape and what he's seen from me at practice, that type of stuff helps too.
Devontae, obviously you've established yourself as the leader of the team, but another guy that was kind of next to you throughout practice that was talking a lot lately was Jacoby Myers. You know, what has been your relationship like with him since he's been here? What was your idea of who he was as a receiver before he got here?
That's a great question. I told Cole, I said, man,
Milo, what's good? What's good,
I learned more
Milo?
about him.
What's up?
And part of it was my ignorance. You know, like I said,
What's up, my brother?
I live under a rock a lot of times, so I didn't really see, you know, in New England, I didn't see him featured as much as maybe he should have been based off of what I saw, you know, when they came here, we practiced against them. And so far what I've seen from him now, I mean, he's a pro. He's got a lot of tools on the field, and the way he thinks about the game to be a relatively young player is impressive to me. So I'm excited to work alongside him too.
Going back to a second, when you talked about, you know, stopping, you don't care anymore. You know, you didn't think you might think about a drop early in your career. You don't think about that now. You kind of let that go. Do you think success allowed you to not think about
Make sure
those
y'all
things,
hit
or
that
did
like
you
button and
have
subscribe to the
success
channel.
because you stopped thinking about those things?
Another good question. I think that it's a little bit of both. The real confidence, like every receiver is going to tell you, I think I'm the best, or I want to be the best. That's the right mindset.
What's up?
Right?
What's up?
But once you have,
I'm gonna give
a
my
little bit
thoughts on
behind you,
Jimmy
whether
G.
it's
I'm
the
gonna give my
resume
thoughts
or
on
you've made
Jimmy
plays
G.
in practice, or just your work ethic, you've changed something in a way, you operate on a daily basis. The things that you actually do contribute to the mindset and the true confidence, because we can all say whatever, you can say I'm the best writer in the world, but if everything you write is, lackluster, then that's not, you're just saying it at that point. Nobody else is going to really respect it. So, I just put the work in, and like I said, I started to forget some of the other things and just put it out of my mind, change my mindset a little bit. And once I had enough behind it, it just kind of, I guess, it intensified that confidence and that kind of, I don't really care factor. And, here we are.
You mentioned about respect means a lot to you. You live under a rock, but respect. Last year at the end of the season, Sam Webb talked about almost pinching himself that he gets to compete against you, the best. What is it about him? He's competing for a roster spot. What is it about Sam Webb? Because he talks about you coaching him. So obviously you've taken interest.
Yeah.
Could you talk about what it is about him that you like about his game, please? Well,
just that part that you said right there. Another player that I played with in the past that turned out to be, I mean, he's probably the best in the league right now, Jair Alexander. Same type of thing, where came in and I never seen a guy. I mean, usually I beat a guy on one-on-ones and they kind of just chalk it up like I'm a rookie. That's Devontae. Like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna get kicked off the team for him beating me. And Ja was in the locker room right after the first training camp practice, and he had his iPad out before anybody came in there, like literally like looking at the plays, trying to figure out like what it was. And he comes up to me and asks, like, I don't want to bother you, but like what happened here? Like what made you, how'd you know I was going to react this way or whatever? So Sam kind of has that edge, and I'm not comparing him to Ja as far as, Ja's obviously in a different place in his career right now, but the intentionality and the care to want to get better like that and to learn and for it to mean as much as what it does to him, that says a lot.
We're going to get it to the
player.
Jimmy G talk, yo. We just at the press
you
conference. We're going to get it to the Jimmy G talk.
Kind of
we are.
And, teach him. And the more we do, the more he wants to learn, the more he comes and talks to me about it. And then I see the growth, and then, we'll talk about something. You know, I might shoot myself in the foot, tell him something, and then he'll actually play it really well based off of that. But that's what we want. That's what I want to see as a leader and as a vet on the team. I want to see the young guys taking information, not just coming up and talking, just to be like, oh, you know, I talked to Devontae about whatever, just to put on a show.
Right.
You know, so I respect that about him, that it means a lot to him to be able to ask those type of questions, which is why I kind of naturally gravitated toward him.
Well, I know that you guys are still at kind of ground zero right now, like all 31 other teams. I just felt watching out there that maybe you guys were a little bit ahead of the curve compared to this time last year.
Yeah.
I know there are some new faces, new quarterbacks, but do you feel like there's a more progressive starting point this year compared to last year?
For sure, definitely. I mean, we're in a different spot right now. Just having a year under our belt now with this system and with this coaching staff, I think part of it, to give the coaches a little bit of credit too, is they're in a different place, and obviously understand that we get it a little bit more now. So it's not really as much, you know, guys running around with their hair on fire. It's a little bit more of a toned down. Not that they're not getting after us, because they should as coaches still, but there's a little bit of a, you know, these guys understand it and they've made progress, so we can kind of chill out a little bit too. So I mentioned that to EB yesterday. I said I can feel that from the coaches, and I think that
we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. It's just live reactions of the press conference, y'all. Just live reactions of the press conference. That's it.
Obviously, that's a little bit of, you know, both sides working and you know, kind of meeting in the middle.
We'll go Ryan and Willie.
To piggyback on that earlier question, being in year 2 under Coach McDaniel's system, how much does that benefit you in terms of learning the nuances of the system?
I mean, I'm just in a whole different spot coming in now. It's like, you know, last year it's almost like taking the same course twice. You know, you take algebra once, which I've never done. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced that, but yeah, taking the same course, you go in, you take.
Make sure y'all come on in and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, y'all.
Before, and you know, you've taken calculus before, trigonometry, and then this is a whole, you got to unlearn everything about trig and then go to this now. So that was part of the kind of adjustment for me, was unlearning some of the things that I knew before that, you know, is obviously going to be a little bit of a bastard in this offense. And you know, once you can let go of some of those things, you can now play a lot faster, just be flowing. It's not as much, you know, just stressful nights trying to study to you know, memorize what I'm doing here and doing there. And also the coaches simplified some stuff for us and made it a little easier coming back too. So like I said, it's kind of we fed off each other there to make it a little bit easier.
Devontae, you talked about your mindset, right? 8 years in Green Bay and where the sort of low light hit for you. And then you come here and there's a comfortability.
What's up, Raider Dangerfield? What's up?
To your interview with Brandon Marshall, watched it. And you talked about some specific things from last year. You mentioned the KC incident.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the low lights that you found a roller coaster mentally last year that you were able to grow from and that's made you mentally stronger to come into the season to become more of a leader in the locker room and for yourself, just be mentally healthy?
There was nothing really. I mean, I wouldn't look at the KC incident as something that, you know, obviously to say I learned from it. I don't want to say I didn't learn from it, because that makes it sound like I'm not remorseful and stuff like that. But it was just an instance. It's not something that I needed to happen for me to know that was.
But why they
right
asking him about the Kansas City shit? Like, I don't understand that.
It was more
why
so
y'all asking him about the Kansas City shit? That's retarded.
And learning patience, dealing with, you know, a new coaches, new system, and coming in being used to, you know, having 13 wins for my last 3 years in Green Bay. And another thing I talk to people about is understanding how the importance of, I mean, this is a little bit off topic, but just the quality of life too. Like just coming here and knowing, because in Green Bay, I mean, I kind of mentioned it. I believe I mentioned it with B. Marsh, but Green Bay, we won a lot of games, but it still was a certain level of, I don't know if it's because we took it for granted or whatever, but now I have a better understanding for how good it feels to win. You know, so going through some of the trials last year and losing some of the games, or a lot of the games that we should or could have won, you know, the patience and those kind of go hand in hand. And I learned that it's definitely not as easy as maybe we made it look before. So working with new guys and coming in with even more new guys this year, just learned basically, I think patience is the biggest word at the end of the day.
Devontae, this is, for all intents and purposes, this is only going to be like your third different quarterback since high school. how daunting, inspiring, refreshing is that learning curve going to be? And also, you didn't have to take college algebra at Fresno State?
I'm not gonna answer the last part. What was the first question again? Sorry, you threw me off.
Your high school quarterback before Derek, you got with Derek and
Well, I had Christoph Bono. That was Steve. You guys, a couple older guys in here. I know Steve Bono. His son was my quarterback. Then obviously I had Derek. Then who did I have in Green? Aaron in Green Bay.
Oh wow!
Also had
He
shout out
said
to Brett
Aaron.
Hundley out there too. So I had Brett. I had a couple of them. But yeah, it's definitely been. I've been blessed, man. With some very confident and capable throwers of the ball. So I can attribute a lot of my success to because learning from those guys, honestly, because Christoph had a lot more reps than me. I guess at that point I wouldn't say experience because I knew football, but he had a lot more reps than me. So I did learn some stuff from him and his dad at that point coming in. Obviously, I learned a lot from Derek at Fresno. And then, learn how to be a pro and how to do things the right way in Green Bay and how to practice and how to lead and all that stuff from Aaron. So I've been blessed, man, having some of the guys that I've had to throw me the ball for sure.
Thanks, everyone.
Cool.
Thanks for making it.
All right, y'all. So that was the first press conference. That was Devontae Adams, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to get into the Jimmy Garoppolo stuff, and a lot of Raiders fans is probably not going to like what I'm going to say, and I really don't care what y'all have to say, because I really don't care what y'all have to say when it comes to my opinion anyway. We knew this, getting Jimmy Garoppolo, that he had a foot injury back when he was with the 49ers. This is the same foot injury that he had there. He just finally getting surgery on it. And he got surgery on it in March. It's May 25th. It's May 25th. He got the surgery in March. But we always knew that we knew that he had that foot injury back with the 49ers. Why are we surprised? Why are we surprised? That's the part I'm not understanding. Y'all surprised that he's so-called hurt again. This is the same injury that he had when we signed him. There's no reason they tried, the McDaniels tried to keep it under wraps. This injury was not under wraps. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to be smarter than that. Y'all really do. Y'all rather got to really be smarter than that. We knew that Jimmy Garoppolo was an injury-prone quarterback. We knew this. What makes it a surprise that he's just coming out and saying this? It's not a surprise, y'all. It's not. Y'all gotta let that go, man. Y'all knew this. The organization knew this. The coaches knew this. And us as fans that watched Jimmy Garoppolo over the years knew that he had injuries over the years. And this foot injury is no different. It's no different. It's May 25th. It's non-contact OTAs. This would be a bigger issue if this was going around as training camp was going on. But this is voluntary OTAs. So just imagine if he wasn't healthy. What if he didn't show up to voluntary OTAs? Then what? So pump the brakes on that, because we knew. I don't know why fans are shocked. Raiders fans, you don't need to be shocked about the situation with Jimmy Garoppolo. You don't need to be shocked about it. For what? Well, you knew this man had injury after injury after injury. We knew this. What is there to be shocked for? There's no reason to be shocked at all. There's no reason. So people fail to realize that Jimmy Garoppolo had this foot injury since he hurt his foot with the 49ers. He didn't get surgery on it until March. And now it's just coming out 2 months, almost 2.5 months later. But people want to say that Josh McDaniels and the organization kept it under wraps, when we already knew the injury was there when we signed him. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to stop the bogus shit, man. Y'all really got to stop that. And that's why I don't like to go live as much on here, because y'all be saying some bogus stuff, man. Y'all really do. And I'm going to be unprofessional on this one because, listen, it's not nothing but Raiders podcast. It's not. But I'm going to be honest with Devontae Adams said everything that needed to be said, but I just didn't like some of the writers that was on there asking him about the Kansas City incident, which happened last year. Why is that being brought up in today's press conference? I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all. But for me, to people to be mad about Jimmy Garoppolo being hurt again, we knew this regime knew, Mark Davis knew, Josh McDaniels knew, Dave Ziegler knew, everybody in the upper organization knew. They knew. So for us to sit here and be shocked about Jimmy Garoppolo's foot injury, we knew about the foot injury for how long now? Like, y'all can't be shocked about this. Y'all can't be shocked about this. And I knew we was going to sign Jimmy Garoppolo. I knew that for a fact. I understand you want to get the continuity with Devontae Adams on the field. I get that. I totally, completely get that. But we knew this. We knew this, y'all. Like, I don't understand how y'all shocked about this. There's no way to be shocked. There's no way to be shocked. Make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the 20 people that's in the chat. I really do appreciate it. But every time we get a presser, I'm going to start going live with the pressers now. That's what I'm just going to do. I missed the first pressure today because I had the Darian Hopkins show on my other channel. But let's keep it a buck here, y'all. Jimmy Garoppolo had this foot injury for numerous of times. Stop the madness, man. We knew what we were getting into when we got Jimmy Garoppolo. We knew it. And people might not like my channel anymore. People might not come through my channel anymore because I don't go live consistently and all that stuff. But I do not care. I don't care for subscribers. I don't care for views. I'm here to just talk, to talk my Raider stuff. I don't care if I got one person in the chat. I don't care. Because I'm not here for the views. I'm here to just give you news about the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's it. And other NFL news as much as possible. But we're not going to sit up here and act like we are just, oh my God, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's hurt again. Like we don't know this already. Come on, y'all. If y'all that weird, something's wrong with y'all. For real. Something's wrong with y'all. We knew Jimmy Garoppolo was not one of the best quarterbacks out there, but he could manage a game. We knew that he can hold up. Let me see something here. Let me just double check and see where we at on the live. And we waiting for Max Crosby. I think it's Max Crosby next. But we knew this, y'all. We knew this about Jimmy Garoppolo. We know that he can manage a game. We know that if he had a great running game and a good defense, he could get you to a Super Bowl. We knew all this stuff. We knew. So the Raiders fans, they probably all over Twitter being mad about, this is not a shocker. This is not a shocker. Oh, this is a shocker. Oh, my God, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo this. Jimmy Garoppolo that. The Raider season is done. We're only in May 25th, 2023. We didn't even get to the second wave of free agency that's in June. And y'all panicking. Like, come on. I don't know what y'all Raiders fans want, man. That's why I don't have any expectations for this season. I don't. I have no expectations for this season. And the only reason why me and my bro Leo did that record prediction is because we wanted to see how we felt about our schedule, because the schedule came out. But do we believe we'll go 11-6? Absolutely not. We don't believe that we'll go 11-6. We don't believe that. So that's why we put the disclaimer out there. because of situations like this. Jimmy Garoppolo being where? Not in OTAs. It's a lot of players that's in not in OTAs. I bet you the New York Jets fans, they not tweaking about Aaron Rodgers, hurting his hamstring in OTAs. And Aaron Rodgers saying it's not a big deal. So people got to understand. Jimmy Garoppolo had these injuries before he even signed with us. He had the injury when he signed with us. We knew about the injury before he even stepped into our building. So for people to go all out and panic, like, oh my God, Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be out for a significant time up to training camp, and want to put all these illusions on what? Oh, Josh McDaniels tried to hide the injury from us. How can you hide an injury that everybody already knew? Come on. Y'all got to make it make sense, man. Y'all really got to make it make sense. Y'all really do. Y'all really got to make it make sense, because it's starting to get really, really sad. It's starting to get really, really sad. I'm going to start going live every day on here, man. I'm really going to start going live every day. No press conference or not. I have to go live every day to give y'all the news that y'all want. I try to, make sure that I do things the right way on this channel. But I got to go back to what I've been doing. But when I got to the 7,000 subscribers, I got to go back to that. I seem like y'all don't like the nice spotlight. I guess y'all don't like the nice spotlight anymore. So now I got to start cussing y'all out again. Do I have to do that? But, I mean, Devontae Adams in his presser, because I don't want to take nothing away from his presser. He said a lot of things that the media try to take it out of context. They try to make it something bigger than what it is. And Devontae Adams just want, for what I've heard from this press conference from Devontae Adams, he just want to play football, man. He just want to play football. Hopefully his quarterback, Jimmy G or Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever it is, whoever it is, that he could work with. Because Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be out. Aiden O'Connell is going to get he's going to get reps. Brian Hoyer is going to get reps. I don't know what other quarterbacks that they brought in as far from undrafted free agency side. But hey, at the end of the day, man, the Las Vegas Raiders will always be the Las Vegas Raiders until something changes. We got rid of a Derek Carr that was, y'all say that was inconsistent and couldn't get y'all over the hump, to a guy that's not even available to us right now, when you knew that he wasn't going to be available to us when he signed. So we already knew that. So Raiders fans have to understand this. This is what we was going to get. We wasn't going to get Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a part of the Raiders, but he's an owner now. He's not going to come down from his ownership to be a quarterback. Absolutely not. He's making too much money not being a quarterback than he is a quarterback. Let's just be realistic there. And we can't go out and get, we could have went out and got Hendon Hooker in the draft, but we ended up getting Aiden O'Connell because the Lions got him first in the draft. So we got to deal with it, y'all. We have to deal with it. They have to deal with it. But the fact that they saying that we was hiding this information is absolutely bogus. It's absolutely bogus. But here goes Marcus Epps. Marcus Epps is at the podium now.
I feel like the defense fits my skill set really well. So, I'm just happy to be here and trying to just continue to progress and get better every day.
What makes you believe that you can actually thrive in defensive Coach Graham's system? Sometimes it can be a little bit complex on the back end there. You'll probably be the quarterback.
Hefe, what's good, brother? Hefe, what's good?
That aspect of it and what you bring to the table.
Yeah, I always believe in my abilities and my skill set. I feel like I can fit into any system, from a skill set standpoint. And then, from a complex standpoint, it's just about making sure off the field you're putting the work in, putting the film study in, getting in the playbook and making sure that you're prepared each day.
From the outside, the expectations where you were before are not the same necessarily as they are here. A lot of people don't necessarily expect as much of this team? I guess, how do you kind of envision that? And is that something you embrace of just, people not expecting necessarily a Super Bowl team here?
Honestly, I don't really worry about expectations outside the building. I worry about the expectations inside the building. And, right now it's only May. So, I feel like the expectation right now is to just continue to work each and every day and, pick something to get better at each day.
Marcus, when you first got signed, obviously it was pretty early in the offseason, so the makeup of the secondary wasn't as set as it is now. Now that the group's sort of together, you know who it's going to be for the most part. What kind of potential do you think the secondary could have to be successful this season?
I feel pretty good about it. The best thing so far that I've seen is, we're young, but it's a group of hungry guys that are putting the work in each day, getting extra work in. So, I feel pretty good about everybody's skill set that we have in there. So the biggest thing is just continue to learn each other, continue to learn how each other plays out there on the field so that, like I said, we can make sure that we're communicating well, filling each other out, and always on the same page back there.
How much did reaching the level you reached last year, and falling just short of it, how much does that drive, what kind of motivation wise to get back there and to try to, change the result and kind of get over that?
Yeah, definitely. It still stings. But, I think, in this league, no matter if your success or failures, you got to bring that same energy to work every day. If you want to succeed, especially in this league, it's very competitive. And, no matter if you won or lost, you got to make sure you're bringing that same fire each day to continue to get better and to win.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go back real quick. I'm sorry. I apologize. Well, I guess that wasn't really much they had to ask Marcus Epps there. They didn't have to ask him much. But down goes Jimmy. Jimmy's been down. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, Jimmy has been down. You know what I'm saying? He's been down for a little bit when it comes to things. But it look like I'm gonna have to probably go live with y'all every day now. I'm gonna just have to double work my shifts as much as possible and try to, be more active on this channel. But people just need to calm down about Jimmy Garoppolo. Calm down. Like, y'all making it seem like this man was already healthy coming into the building. He was never healthy coming into the building. If you thought that he was healthy coming into the building, you living under a rock. I'm just being completely. You're living under a rock if you thought Jimmy Garoppolo was coming in here 100% healthy. After he sat out majority of the season with the 49ers, it's just really logical. It's really not. It's really simple situations here when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo. When it comes to Devontae Adams saying what he had to say at this presser, which was a great presser, but Marcus Epps was a little bit. He was a little bit too. It was a little bit too short of a presser for Marcus Epps. But hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We just gonna sit here and do these pressers. Hopefully that I can get I got the all notifications on. For some reason, I don't get all the notifications for the Las Vegas Raiders pressers because I would do them every day if I knew about them. I did miss the Josh McDaniels one earlier. I think I want to recap that and see what he had to say in that presser. I might do that on this live stream and hear what he had to say about Jimmy Garoppolo because I really don't know too much about what was said about Jimmy Garoppolo or in that presser in itself. But shout out to the people that's in the chat, man. I might replay it just to give y'all my opinions on it. And while I do other things, So hey, man, we trying to get to we just trying to get to that 8,000 subscriber mark. But I don't really care about it at this point. It just comes out to the best bets. It just come out to the best bets here. But make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Darian Hopkins, aka Spotlight Football Talk. We definitely are in the building. I have new merch coming for y'all as well, some Raider stuff. Doesn't have my name on it, but it does have my name on it, like on the sleeve. But as far as the actual graphic tee, I got a Devontae Adams vintage custom logo design made and a Max Crosby one. I'm gonna put those online real soon once I get the samples in and stuff like that. But hey, man, Y'all already knew, man. Y'all already knew about this whole situation with the. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy how y'all feel like y'all think that y'all not shocked. I don't understand how y'all not shocked. Like Raider Nation, we should know we should expect the unexpected. We should expect the unexpected at this moment. We know about this regime. We know about everything that happens with this Las Vegas Raiders team. We already know. We already know. So we can't even be mad about the whole Jimmy Garoppolo situation where we already knew that he had an injury. We already knew. Like I don't understand how people feel that we like, oh my God, Jimmy Garoppolo, bro. Get over it. Are you watching the Night of Champions this Saturday? Depending on, you know what, I might do Night of Champions. I might do Night of Champions on my other channel. I'll do Night of Champions on my other channel, which is the Darian Hopkins show. I might do live reaction of that, since there might be no basketball that weekend. Really depends on what happens in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals and stuff like that. But I might be watching Night of Champions. I might be watching it. But other than that, man, we went through Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams and Max Crosby. No, Devontae Adams and Marcus Epps presser so far. We're just waiting for Max Crosby to come here to hear what he got to say. And while we're on here, we're going to go back and hear what Josh McDaniels had to say on his presser earlier, which let me see if I can actually see if it's still up here. And you go back to the live. So, yeah, he did have a presser. Absolutely. He did have a presser. Yep, he did have a presser. So I'm a definitely. It was only for like 19 minutes. We could definitely go and listen to that and see what they had to say. O'Connell is QB1 after preseason, LOL, because the other dude is Brian Hoyer. But don't be surprised, Raider Dangerfield. Don't be surprised, bro. Don't be surprised, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because don't be surprised that Brian Hoyer is the QB1. Don't be surprised. Well, I like to see O'Connell be QB1 at the preseason. If Jimmy Garoppolo can't go, no, because I'm really nervous about putting in a rookie quarterback. I'm really nervous about that. But this is where you could have went out and got a backup quarterback. And hopefully in the second round of free agency, we could go get a solid backup quarterback. I wouldn't mind going to get a Teddy Bridgewater as a solid backup. I wouldn't mind going to get that because he's mobile and he can throw the football really well. Teddy Bridgewater did not sign with anybody as we speak. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Brian Hoyer at all. I'm just not a big fan of Brian Hoyer. I'm not a big fan of Brian Hoyer at all. I'm not. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if O'Connell be QB1 after the preseason if Garoppolo can't go. That's only if Garoppolo can't go. So that's what I feel about it. That's exactly how I feel about it. But yeah, I gotta make sure I can get to these pressers, man, because like I missed the Josh McDaniels. I wouldn't be surprised. I like O'Connell, his tape though. Yeah, but he does force a lot of throws from what the tape that I saw. He does force a lot of throws into double coverage. He got to learn how to look off his one receiver and look through his progressions. It's minor things that you could really work with, but I mean, it's Aiden O'Connell. You got him in those later rounds for a reason. You could have got some other better quarterbacks at that time, but hey, that's what Josh McDaniels likes, and you know, you love it. I like it. You know, I'm just a fan. I'm not an analyst. I just know the game of football. And that's how I do it, man. That's just how I do it, man. That's how I do it. I do it to the best of my ability when it comes to it. But I wouldn't be surprised. I like O'Connell in his tape. Yeah, he has good tape at Purdue. He does have a lot of interceptions in those stats too. Clean up the interceptions, be a little bit more precise on his throws. He's very accurate, but I didn't understand why we got him, but I understand why we got him, because Derek Carr is not here no more. We don't have a true backup. And, you know, Chase Garbers, we don't know if he's going to ever step on the field. So, I mean, that's another story for another time, man. That's another story for another time. But like this is some of the biggest Raiders news that we heard about most of this offseason is Jimmy Garoppolo. I am going to start putting up more videos on this channel, giving y'all content after content. I'm gonna try working through. I'm working through 2 channels, y'all. Y'all gotta understand, like the NBA playoffs has really been big for me. I've been getting mad numbers on that channel, so that's why I haven't really been on here just to try to give y'all rumors and weirdo stuff and stuff of that nature. But I'm gonna try to go on. Let me see if I can go to Spotlight football talks. Let me see if I can share it on Twitter real quick. Let me share the live on Twitter. Real quick. Let me share the live on Twitter before we come back to the Raiders train. Because we waiting on Max Crosby right now. We waiting on Max Crosby. So make sure y'all share the live. Tell a friend that we live here. Who said Jimmy G needed surgery? Miguel Santos, Jimmy G doesn't need surgery. He had surgery in March. That's what they're saying. He had surgery in March. He had foot surgery in March. So he doesn't need surgery. He didn't get injured at OTAs. And that's what certain Raider fans have to stop the false narrative. Because people like Miguel will come in and ask a question because somebody probably told him something different. He doesn't need surgery. He had surgery in March. That's the whole thing. He had surgery in March and it's finally coming out to light like whoop-de-doo. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo had surgery in March when we knew that he had the foot injury from the get-go. We knew this going into signing him and going into stuff like that. So Raider fans need to stop the false narrative of what we didn't know, knowing that we really did know. That's what makes me so real doing this stuff, man. That's what makes me so real being on these lives, man. Stop with the false narratives so Raiders fans can be confused. Nah. How do you feel about Tyree Wilson? I haven't heard anything about Tyree Wilson. I know he got number 9. I like Tyree Wilson. I think he's going to come in and be very effective. I think he's going to come in and help the rotation with Max Crosby and Chandler Jones. I think we won't miss a beat when one of them are not out there on the floor. I mean, on the field. I'm thinking of basketball. My God, I'm thinking of basketball. But I think Tyree Wilson, he can play inside. He can play outside. It really depends on what Patrick Graham wants to do with Tyree Wilson in certain situations, in certain scenarios, in certain third down situations as well. So I mean, he still has to develop. He's young. He's a rookie. He's gonna have some growing pains. He probably missed some tackles. Probably missed some assignments. But that's part of growing as being a rookie in the NFL. You're not going to know everything in the NFL. You're not going to learn everything in 1 year in the NFL. So fans going to have to be patient with Tyree Wilson. They're going to have to be patient. Can he come in and make an impact and help this defense? Absolutely. But are you expecting him to be a Pro Bowler in the first season? Then your expectations for him is a little bit too high. You have high expectations for him as far as his career goes. But if you feel like in his first year, in his rookie year, you think he could be an all-pro selection, then what you really know about football? I think he's going to be solid. I think he's going to bring athleticism to our defensive line. And I think that Tyree Wilson is a game changer. But it's still a learning curve for him as well. It's still a learning curve because he's a rookie. He's coming from college to the pros. It's a different ball game when you move up here, especially being the 7th overall pick, being a first-round pick, and all that pressure. It's going to be a lot, man. It's going to be a lot to think about. But we still waiting for Max Crosby's press conference to happen here. Waiting for Max Crosby press conference to have here, and I'm gonna replay. I'm gonna replay the actual Josh McDaniel presser, so I can give y'all my thoughts on that as well. But shout out to D-4200. What's going on, brother? What is going on? So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the 24 people in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all. I know other content creators probably went live or they all in the Raiders chat because the chat is looking crazy now. But if y'all in there, let them know to come to the Spotlight Football Talk, man, and talk some Raiders. We're gonna be all right, though. We gonna be good, man. We gonna be good. But we can't be surprised about it. That's the reason why I'm low in this season. To expect rookies to have it all together in 1 year is crazy. Thank you, Raider Twan. Thank you, Raider Twan. I completely agree with that, brother. I completely agree with that. People think that these fans have too many high expectations on players in their first year. Or then if they don't do nothing, he's a bust. He gotta go. We gotta get rid of him. You ever heard of the word development? Have you ever heard of the word development? For the position that Tyree Wilson plays, it takes development. Max Crosby, yeah, he's a freak of nature. But it took development. He got better every year. 21 likes with 21 watching, 21 likes. That's what I like. That's what I call a great audience. Absolutely. I don't like to have audiences where I have 150 people in here and I only got like 20 likes. You feel what I'm saying? But that's absolutely right, Twan. That's absolutely right, bro. It's called development, and people have to figure out and learn the word development. Understand the Raiders want to win now. But we are a young football team in majority of the areas in the positions that we are in. Probably not on the offensive side, but we're damn well young on the defensive side. We damn well is young. From the T to the core, we're young. So they got to understand that, man. They got to learn how to understand that. But they all talking about different talk about different people yeah, so they talk about different they saying Graphic Raider is the GOAT and stuff like that. Tyree is going to be good and be in good hands. He has Chandler and Max to look up to this league. Exactly, Just Listen podcast. Absolutely. But Max Crosby is taking forever, man. Max Crosby is definitely taking forever. Aiden Connell is impressive. Rooks and staff, from what I've heard, QB2, who knows? Yeah, but you know, John Rader, Josh McDaniels is stuck in his ways. He's absolutely stuck in his ways when it comes to that. He's going to go with the most experienced quarterback, which is Brian Hoyer, unfortunately. But would he like to go? For me, I mean, I don't understand how he's beating out Chase Garbers right now. I don't understand how Aiden O'Connell is beating out Chase Garbers right now. I just don't see that. That's just me. Chase Garbers, I think he has some talent. But I think in training camp, it's really going to show who's going to get QB2. It's going to be out of Brian Hoyer, Aiden O'Connell, and Chase Garbers. It's going to be out of those three. And I can't make a prediction of who's going to be the number 2 QB. I can't make a prediction of who's the number 1 QB because Jimmy Garoppolo foot injury is a foot injury that everybody knew about already. Like, that's what I'm saying about certain Raiders fans. They don't think the realistic things. They don't think the logistics. I am going to do that. Aiden, to me, is just a kid. This NFL is going to get him, and he needs to learn. Absolutely. He definitely needs to learn. Yeah, these Raiders, see, that's why I don't go into the Raiders chat when the Raiders go live. I don't go into the Raiders chat. I don't go into the Raiders chat when they go live because they talk about a bunch of, Docs will kill Wi-Fi Willie and stuff like that. Like, we don't need that. We don't need that type of energy with the Raider Nation. We just really don't need that. And that's why I think a lot of people strayed away from me because I don't bring that energy no more. I don't bring that negative energy to my channel anymore. I just don't. I don't bring fakeness to my energy no more. But I gotta start being on this side of the channel too, man. I gotta be able to start being on the side of this channel. But y'all can ask me anything y'all want to ask me, man. Ask me anything y'all want to ask me until I don't know what the hell Max Crosby is doing. He's taking forever. I want to know who's the guy doing the work of Trey effing Tucker, my guy. But you know what? Do y'all want to see the exclusive logos that I have? Well, technically, I have these tremendous. I don't know if y'all saw them on my Instagram, but I posted about the 2 logos that I'm about to do for shirts with the Max Crosby 90s vintage t-shirts and the Devontae Adams 90s vintage t-shirts. I know y'all saw those. I know that y'all saw those. If y'all didn't see it on my story, I'm going to post them again. Because that's going to be the new merch before the season starts. That's going to be the new merch. So we're going to have that. We got to have that done. We're going to get those done for y'all. Raider Nation, we the illest. Shakeback Media Group, what's up, bro? What's up, man? We heard from Devontae Adams. We heard from Mike Epps with Mike Epps. Well, Marcus Epps. I'm sorry, Marcus Epps. But Marcus Epps, pressure was pretty short. It was pretty short, so we just waiting on Max Crosby, man. We just waiting on Max Crosby. That's what we doing, man. But hey, Shakeback Media Group, I got a question for you, bro. Are you surprised about this news about Jimmy Garoppolo? Are we surprised? As Raiders fans, are we surprised? We knew that he had a foot injury. We knew this foot injury kept him out for a long, extensive time with the 49ers. We knew this. So this news coming out that, oh, he got surgery in March. This is nothing new. It's nothing new. Yeah, don't be on Raiders YouTube Live. Too many trolls attacking others. I just turned off the comments. Surprised that we kept it under wraps for this long. I don't understand how it's I don't understand how it's under wraps though. How it's under wraps when we knew when he was with the 49ers that he already had. This is the same injury that he's going through. He just never got surgery on it. So how did we keep this under wraps when we knew that he had an injury coming in here from last year? Why you think he didn't play majority of last year? So how does it keeps it under wraps? So he got surgery on the foot that he got the injury on. But it's the same exact injury. He didn't hurt in the OTAs. He didn't participate in OTAs. But we knew that he had this injury. We knew that. That's why I'm not surprised that we kept it under wraps, because it wasn't nothing to be under wraps. It was nothing to be under wrapped. It wasn't nothing to be under wrapped at all. I'm saying they just now announced it. But I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand that, you know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand how it's a surprise announcement. If we knew that he had an injury coming into this season, we knew this. That's what I'm confused. Just announcing it now. He has surgery in March. Today is 5th. That was today's May 25th. It's 2 months later. But we knew since the Super Bowl, we knew since the playoffs, we knew since Brock Purdy came in after Jimmy Garoppolo. We'd known this since Brock Purdy came in for the 49ers, that this was going to be an injury that lingered on to the Raiders. We knew this. We knew this. So to me, it's not a surprise. This is typical Raider shit. Typical. They didn't have to, for us Raiders fans, we didn't have to. For us Raiders fans, they didn't have to announce it. How can we hold information from the fans when we already know because we watched this man play last year? I'm confused. We have not seen that man play since the Miami game that he hurt his foot and Brock Purdy came in. He didn't play the whole season. We already knew that he was an injury-prone quarterback. How are we surprised? Josh McDaniels holding information from the fans. He's been holding information from the fans since last year. Even when Derek Carr was here. So how are we surprised about that? We're not. That's what I'm saying. Like this organization always holds stuff back. I don't understand how are we feeling this way about something when we know this organization do this every single year. When John Gruden was here, information was held back. When Jack Del Rio was here, information was held back. Now with Josh McDaniels here, information was held back. This is just an information held back from the fans type of organization. That's exactly what this organization is. Like they don't want coaches that's not going to tell everything. They want coaches that's not going to give us any explanation to the fans. And I think we have been accustomed to that. So being surprised that Josh McDaniels holding information from the fans is not a surprise either. This is the Raider way. Unfortunately, it's sad to say, but this is the Raider way. That's why I have no expectations for this season. I have none. I have zero expectations for this season. Zero. My expectations are not high. My expectations are not low. My expectations are not little. My expectation is just an expectation. Whatever happens, happens. I don't believe anything that comes out of McDaniel's mouth. We didn't believe John Gruden either. We didn't believe John Gruden either. John Gruden was just as terrible as McDaniels when it comes to holding information. You hear John Gruden at a goddamn press conference, and you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Same thing with Josh McDaniels. What the hell is he talking about? They don't got to say Jimmy G had surgery. That all they had to release is the type of injury. But we knew the type of injury that he had. We knew this. When we signed him, we knew this. That he had a foot injury coming into this building. We knew this. Who cares about what type of injury it is? We knew that he had a foot injury from last season. We knew this. If you did not know this, then I don't know where you're watching your sports at. I just don't know. Bleacher Report had multiple articles about Jimmy Garoppolo's foot last season. When we signed Jimmy Garoppolo, it's a lot of articles saying, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo had a foot injury with the 49ers, and how is that going to linger over to the Las Vegas Raiders? It's so many articles out there that you could pull up after he got signed about Jimmy Garoppolo's foot injury. How this is not hit, how this is considered hitting. It's not. The Las Vegas Review Journal made an article about Jimmy Garoppolo's foot injury after we signed him. Bleacher Report, ESPN, CBS. You go and put in Jimmy Garoppolo's foot injury, you would get all your information on Google. You really would. So them announcing it now, it's not a surprise to me at all. It's not. It's not a surprise to me at all. I think is that, oh, finally they gave us the information. Where we already knew the information, where you could find it everywhere on anybody's beat writer, A-list writer, B writer, whoever, C writer, D writer, E writer, I don't know. But it's been talked about so much about his foot injury, especially on NFL and ESPN. When we signed him, oh, how Jimmy Garoppolo is going to show up with the Raiders after a lingering foot injury. He didn't re-aggravate it. It's just the foot injury that he had with the 49ers. That's it. All they said was he had surgery in March. That's it. That's all they said. That he had surgery in March, which was 2 months ago. And he should be back by training camp. Okay. At least he's back by training camp. Because I really don't care for OTAs. I really don't care for OTAs. I don't. I understand you want to build camaraderie and build chemistry in OTAs. I get it. But the real stuff really happens in training camp. The real stuff really happening. Like all OTA voluntary workouts. When you hear OTA voluntary workouts, you hear 7-on-7 drills. You hear 9-on-7 drills. You hear 11-on-11 drills that does have nothing to do with a playbook, basically. When you hear voluntary workouts, it is voluntary. That means everybody's not going to show up because it's voluntary. Bro, I gotta see if we can finish unfinished business because I'm doing my other channel right now. When it comes to the NBA and the WNBA, it really depends. I barely get to be on this channel. Only time I really have time for this channel is on Tuesdays. Because I'm growing my second channel. So I gotta find time. And today, surprisingly, I had time, and I'm like, oh, the Raiders had a press conference. Let me just go live for that. Oh no, if he had surgery in March, it's May. It would take 4 months. Will he be back by September? Well, it depends on the significance of the surgery. It really depends. If he had surgery in March, it's May 25th. He still have June, July, and by August. He should be ready by August. So if he has surgery in March, depending on what time in March, if he had it in the beginning of the month, say around March 5th, March 6th-ish, you still have him for the whole month of April that he healed from, the whole month of May, the whole month of June, the whole month of July, and let's see what he does in August. Let's see what he does in August. Because right now, if he's 3 months, almost 3 months ahead, then you got to think about June, July, and August. So that's like about 4 more months, about 5 more months. It really depends on the time frame on when he had the surgery in March. That's what it really, really does. But let's see how major the foot surgery is. And what the hell is taking Max Crosby forever? What the hell is Max Crosby? What are you taking forever for, bro? I'm trying to entertain y'all. What the hell is Max Crosby taking forever for a goddamn press conference? You're killing me, Max Crosby. It's hot. I want to be outside chilling, getting the sunlight right now until I got to do game 5 tonight of Boston and Miami. Right, Jimmy G ain't playing in the preseason anyway. He's not. He got time. He's not going to play in the preseason. We know that. We know that. We know that. We know he's not going to play in the preseason. Come on now, Raider Twan. We right here, Raider Twan. We right here. We know that he's not going to play. We know that. Jimmy G needs to play a preseason because we don't know if he's going to look after him after his surgery. But he's not going to play. But finally, here we go.
Yep.
Max Crosby is here, y'all. Max Crosby is here. Let's listen to it. Let's go.
At this level, to be where you are in your career and to be kind of respected that way by somebody like Tyree, how does that make you feel?
It's a great feeling. I have, my dad will send me clips, of guys talking, on the combine and stuff like that. That's really what it's all about. I've always dreamed to be in the position I am right now. I'm not even close to where I want to be. But I know I'm going in the right direction. So, having a guy like Tyree in the building, and just being able to, help him any way he can. That's something I didn't have when I was a rookie. You know what I mean? We didn't have a lot of vets or anything like that. Especially in D-line when we had a different group. But I've always wanted to, have a guy like Von Miller. When I was a rookie, I reached out to Von, I reached out to all the top guys and try to pick their brains. And so, especially as a rookie, that's what I want to be, a great veteran for, all the young guys, and just have them, come to me if they need anything.
You to be the football head that you are, I'm sure you've watched film of Tyree. What are your? I know he's not out there, but what are your thoughts on what you saw of him in college?
I haven't watched a ton. I've seen a bunch of highlights and things like that, but just from his physical gifts alone, he can be a great player. But just about the work you put in once you get in the league, you can have tools, you can have
every bit of talent. That's the NFL. Everybody's talented, but it's what you do when you get in the building. And he's had a great attitude so far. Seems like a great kid. So I'm gonna be there for him. I know Chandler will as well, and all the other veterans. So we're here to help not only Tyree, but Byron and all the new guys we brought in as well.
Max, you got 2 rookie defensive tackles, 2 sophomores, and then of course Tyree. A lot of youth on your line. As the leader of this defense, is there certain things you do to lead them? Do you do film sessions? Do you spend time with them? How does that work for you?
Yeah, I think a big part of what we're doing right now is just becoming closer as a unit. Especially D-line wise. We're meeting together. We're doing everything together. We're going out and having dinners together. We, a couple guys went to Power Slap last night together. But just getting out of the building and spending more time and building those relationships, because that's the stuff that people don't really notice. On the field, like you watch the Chiefs, everyone knows Kelsey and Mahomes are on the same page. You watch the Bills, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. There's a reason they're on the same page, because they're doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Hold up.
They're doing, more page. You watch the Bills, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. There's a reason, they're on the same page, because they're doing, more than just playing football together. They're doing things off the field together as well. So that's kind of been my main focus, as a leader, taking that next step and just trying to bring the guys together, not only with the D-line, but as a defense as a whole, and, just as a team as a whole, holding everybody to that standard.
Slap face a potential career post-football?
Hell no. No chance. No chance, but I will keep watching it. It's entertaining.
Actually, you talk about being a mentor now, right? And you think about where you were your second season and coming through recovery, having a breakout season, and emerging as a star. Do you sort of embrace the added pressure of now being a leader, being a mentor, and and maybe how has becoming a parent helped that? How's that all come full circle going into OTAs?
I love it in every single way. At the end of the day, I do this year round. I put in everything into my craft, not only on the field, but off the field. And I want to be the best person I could possibly be, the best leader I could be, the best athlete, the best football player I could possibly be. And that comes with more pressure. The more success you get, that's just inevitable. So for me, I've always wanted to be in this position. Even though it is hard, you're going to get more critics, you're going to get more attention, but that's a good thing at the end of the day. If nobody's talking about you, nobody expects big things from you, you're probably doing something wrong. But I do everything I can to put myself in the best position to help this team be the best leader I can be, and be the best player down to down in the National Football League. So that's my goal every day, is be the best. And I try to, show my teammates what that looks like every single day. So, even when the rookies came in, I told them, follow me every single day. If you want to continue building your career, follow me. I'm going to do it the right way. I'm gonna keep showing up. I'm gonna do it every single day. And that's what's really about, just putting your head down.
What's going on, Blue? What's up, Blue?
All the extra shit, like, that's just a part of the game. It's gonna come with it. People are gonna either like you or they don't. They're gonna say this, say that. But at the end of the day, if you're putting in the body work every single day, over time, people are all gonna recognize that. So that's just what I stick to.
First time in a couple of years, same defensive system that you're coming into in OTAs.
Yep.
You feel that a little bit, that there's a better foundation here? Of the knowledge of this defense?
Definitely. Last OTAs, it was a lot. Obviously Pat was new. He's installing a bunch of new stuff, trying to get everything in before we get to camp. And so everything was just like, you're just learning and trying to just figure everything out on the fly. But now, having another year, being able to help the guys that just got in, it's going to help them as well. So, things are going a lot smoother. We're focusing on skill development right now, focusing on getting better as football players. Because at the end of the day, you call whatever you want, but if you're not a good football player, it doesn't matter. So guys are really locked in right now. We're working and working on our crafts, and it's been great to see. Everyone's dialed in. We have dudes with great attitude and with a lot of talent, and are showing up every day. So it's been encouraging to see.
So as a collective unit, how do you think the defensive front needs to improve from last year?
I feel like I've talked about it many times. With Josh, to Dave, to everybody, like. I'm coming, like, the year before, I felt like that was my best year as far as like a culture and an environment as far as the D-line came. When we had, Quinn Jefferson, those guys, like, we were all on the same page every single down. Like, I didn't even have to say anything to Q, and he knew what we were doing. And, I feel like it took a step back last year just as far as being a group. And, that's it is not easy. You get a bunch of new guys. It's not easy. It doesn't just happen overnight. And that's when I've been just encouraging everybody. It's like, listen, we got to do everything together. And it's like I talked about, like, it's not only just showing up to practice, working out together. We got to go out and do things together. We got to learn. I want to know what Matt Butler's kid's doing and like what he's up to. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have those relationships, because that's the shit on TV that you see that you can't even, that, the normal regular fan doesn't understand. Like, if you're on the same page, everything is just flowing. And that's the real connection that, takes guys from, being a good group to a great group. And I feel like that's what we're doing right now. We obviously have a lot of work to do, but it's been super encouraging, especially the inside guys, like seeing, Jerry Tillery, the work he's putting in right now, Matt Butler, Neil Farrell, like all these guys are working like crazy right now, and they're super hungry. And it's been awesome to see, but it's May right now. We got a lot of work to do still. And I feel like we're going in the right direction.
Just continuing to kind of play off a lot of what you've been saying. I mean, we see roster turnover every year in the NFL, obviously, but I mean, you guys have a whole lot of new guys this year on the team as a whole. And you've been a leader before, you've been a captain, you've had your breakout years. Just how different, how new does it feel with so much turnover going into this next year?
I'm kind of used to it at this point. It's my 5th year. I've had 4 head coaches. I've had 4 defensive coordinators. I've had 4 D-line coaches. It's a part of the game. And even when I was in college, it was the same thing. We had new D-line coaches every other year. It's the nature of the business. But at the end of the day, you show up every single day with the same attitude. I can't control any of that. That has nothing to do with me. I just got to be the best version of me and lead the guys by example every day. And, no matter who we have in the building, there's a reason why Devontae's here, why I'm here, why, Hunter Renfro, why Josh Jacobs, those guys, like, they're foundational guys. And, we show up to work and people follow. And that's really what we're just trying to do, is have everybody on that same page so we can go out and finish and play at our best.
Excellent.
The best edge defender in the NFL. What are some things that you need to improve on this year that you can always work on from last year?
There's a ton. I feel like you said, like, my goal is to be the best. That's why I show up here. I want to be the best at what I do and win. And I have a ton to work on. There's always something to work on, as far as pass rush and the run game,
Ron Jeremy, what's going on, Ron Jeremy? What's up?
Exact examples, but I could get better in every single way. And I work on that every single day, all year round. It's looking for that 1%. I'm looking for that every single day. How can I get better in my routine? How can I get better in my nutrition? How can I get better in my pass rush, my counters, stopping the run? I don't leave, a box unchecked. So I'm constantly seeking to get better every single day, and I'm going to keep pushing until the undisputed. That's the goal every day.
That's along the lines of continuity. I think I counted that there's 7 players, 27 or under, that are under contract for kind of the foreseeable future. That's not always been the case here. How important do you think? And obviously, guys got to earn their keep and all that. But if they do, building a foundation of young players that could be here together for a little while.
Yeah, that's, obviously with Josh, coming in, and Dave, like, every coach has their vision of what they want to, do with an organization. Some people aren't going to agree with it. Some people are. And you just got to own what you do. And that's really all it takes. All the outside noise doesn't mean anything. It's all about results, and winning and losing. That's all people care about. And, Josh and Dave are on the same page. They have a vision of what they want, and they're doing that, and they're sticking to it no matter what anybody says. And, being on this team, being a captain, being a leader, I'm bought into that. And no matter if it hurts people's feelings, no matter if certain people don't like it, like, it is what it is. We don't care. We show up, we work. We're the ones putting in the work, and we're the ones that got to go out there and, produce. So we all got to be on the same page. And, if half the people aren't and half are, then you're not going to win. As simple as that. So if we get everybody, on the same board, we're going to have a better chance.
Max, I think when we spoke at the Pro Bowl, you were kind of already fighting the urge to be back in the gym every single day and working out every day and trying to find that balance of getting some rest while, trying to go back to work. Did you find that? Were you able to kind of find that balance this offseason?
It's funny. People talk about you need balance in life. I truly just don't believe in that. That's just not where I'm at in life right now. My daughter and, football that's my life, and obviously my wife and my family, and that's huge. But, like, I'm on a mission. I got one goal. I want to be the best at what I do. I got many big goals I'm trying to achieve. And
What's going on,
it takes more
JB?
than being
JB, what's
50%,
good, my
and
guy?
It takes all my attention all year round. So everybody in my circle, which is a very small circle, they know what my mission is, and they understand what I go through. I'm gone at 5 a.m. I get back at 7 p.m. So it's like it's nonstop, but that's what it takes to be great, and that's what I'm doing every single day. So there's no real balance. At the end of the day, I'm on a mission until I stop playing football, and you know, all the other stuff, I'm gonna do my absolute best to be, you know, the best version of myself. But yeah, it's a constant mission every single day, no matter what it takes and what sacrifice that, you know, happens to be. So.
Okay.
So most importantly, Max, who impressed you last night the most?
The big Hawaiian dude knocked the 500-pounder. That dude's a demon. I don't want to see. Yeah, I would never step in there with that guy. No chance.
Shout out to Max Crosby, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Max Crosby. But that was Max Crosby. I love what he said in this presser. I really do love what he said about these guys, and I'm gonna be completely honest, man. Hold up. But yeah, man, I like what Max Crosby absolutely said, man. He wants to be on the same page with his defensive line. You know, he wants to make sure they have the chemistry and everything. And that's absolutely good, man. That's all, folks. And I'm live on my I'm leaving the presser now. But I really like what Max Crosby had to say on his presser, man, because Max Crosby is one of those guys that wasn't a high draft pick. That's one of those guys that nobody knew who Max Crosby was. We knew that he went to the same school as Khalil Mack. No, I think no, that's not. I'm wrong. I'm absolutely wrong. I'm sorry. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I love what he said about the camaraderie, the chemistry. He just comes in and works, and he's happy to be under the same system for a second year in a row under Patrick Graham, because he's been here where the inconsistency of defensive coaches has been a bad turnover on the defensive side of the ball, from Paul Gunther to Gus Bradley and now Patrick Graham. And Patrick Graham got to get it done. He got to get it done on the opposite side, man. He got to get it done on the opposite side. I did say I totally forgot. I said I was going to listen to what Josh McDaniels had to say. We was going to break down what Josh McDaniels had to say. So let me go back to the Raiders channel and pull that up for y'all, because I've totally forgot. I totally forgot what he said. So hopefully that I can do this again. Give me 1 second. Let me go back to my stuff here, and we can listen to actually. Man, I really hope Max is a Raider for his entire career. Me too. That was Kuntz, right? That was Kuntz. Yep. That was Malcolm Kuntz. That's my fault. That's why I had to correct myself, Raider Dangerfield. But Max Crosby came from a smaller school that really didn't have, you know, have the best as far as scouting goes. But I love the fact that, you know, he connected, he understood. Pretty much said Marinelli had the guys playing together and knowing their assignment. Absolutely. And now hopefully this coaching staff that Patrick Graham has, and whoever's the new D-line coach, have them playing and knowing their assignments on the field. So players don't have to second guess themselves where they need to be at. You know, it was Eastern Michigan, right? It was Eastern Michigan. I apologize. I couldn't get the name out. I couldn't think of it at the time, but yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear what Josh McDaniels had to say about the, you know, provides the roster updates and stuff like that. This was 4 hours ago. So I definitely want to hear what he had to say when it comes to this. So hopefully I can get this to play real quick. I'm not going to listen to the whole thing because it's like 20 minutes. But I do want to hear, you know, some things that he had to say when it comes to this. So let me see when he shows up here. All right, so here we go.
Us here in phase 3 and looking forward to today.
Josh, I know that Jimmy G was coming off a foot injury. Has he been cleared to get on the field yet? And will he be?
There's a number of guys, you won't see him today. There's a number of guys that you're not going to see. Again, you'll see him. I mean, I'm not going to run down a list every time here, but, no, he's going through his process just like we knew he would. Nothing has happened that would surprise us based on, the information we had. Same thing with Tyree. Again, there's a number of guys you're not going to see out there today. So, rehabbing the things that they're rehabbing. And again, we know we don't play a game for over 100 days. So, they're doing everything they can do to get right. And when they're all ready to go, then eventually they'll be back on the field.
Is that something you think would be waited until training camp for Jimmy to get on?
Could be. I mean, I'd say with all these guys, it's about the same. Like I said, when they're ready, some of them may be ready, before the spring is over. Some of them may not, and again, we're always going to err at this time of the year on being smart. We don't play a football game till, like I said, 3.5 months. So to try to rush them out there, to get them out there in May, I mean, it's a poor decision. So doing a great job. All these guys are doing a great job with what they can do in terms of the rehab. They're in all the meetings, all the football things that they can do that, aren't jeopardizing anybody's ability to be ready to go here for the season. They're doing all those things. And the guys that aren't out there, like I said, they'll just, as soon as they're ready, they'll be there.
Josh, when you look at Nate Hobbs and Trayvon Morig, they both had extremely productive rookie seasons.
Yep.
Last year did not comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously made no staff changes there, so you're happy with your staff. What do you need to get from them in these OTAs in training camp, so they're back to that rookie year production?
Yeah. Well, I think Nate battled a bunch of injuries and all that. So that was part of it.
That's true.
But I think anytime a young player goes through a system philosophy change, certain types of things change for them, and so as much as a rookie, you want a rookie to kind of, grow from 1 to 2. If there's a lot of things that change from their day to day and from what they were doing as rookies, sometimes that bump happens from 2 to 3. That's just reality. So both of those guys are doing a great job of, now it's their second year. There's some, there's some same as for those guys in terms of communication, verbiage, responsibilities, etc. And so I'm excited for both players. They have a great attitude. They know that they have an opportunity to really kind of, take a step forward here and really impact the team.
Garoppolo, when he got hurt initially last December, he had leg surgery and was pushing the paper.
Now y'all heard that, right? He had that foot injury in December. Let's take 10 seconds back. Let's take 10 seconds back to look what the writer is saying. He had that foot injury in December. Let's see when he had the surgery. I think he's saying it. Hold up.
Take a step forward here and really impact the team.
Garoppolo, when he got hurt initially last December, he had leg surgery and was pushing to maybe potentially return if the 49ers made a run in the playoffs, which they did. Obviously, he didn't end up coming back. Did he have any sort of off-season surgery or procedure to address his issue?
Yeah, I'm not. Again, I'd say the same thing. There's a number of guys, and I'm really, honestly, not going to talk about the specifics of those things. Again, those are private to those guys individually. But everything that's happened since we've signed Jimmy, we knew ahead of time. It's the same thing with Tyree. I would say it's the same thing with a number of guys that we're aware of. So certainly had an awareness of all of it. And again, our preference is to not to push and rush anybody back at this point in time. Could we? I mean, you could make that decision. It's just, I think the most important time of the year is going to happen when we get to training camp, so that we're.
Enough said. I don't have to hear nothing else about this Jimmy Garoppolo situation. Josh McDaniels knew about his foot injury just like everybody else did. That right there tells me enough.
We're ready to go. We can do the work we need to do in August.
And another injury player to reference, Josh Jacobs, obviously he hasn't signed his.
Yep.
I believe he hasn't signed his tenure yet. Is there any hope that he could be out there for it?
I mean, that's obviously that's up to JJ. There's nothing really to report on that front. I stand by what I've said all along. Love the player and the person, and I'll be excited when I see him.
Coach, I know it's a small sample size, but what have you seen from Trey Tucker that kind of gets you excited?
Well, when we evaluated Trey coming out, first of all, Trey's a captain.
So I'm gonna be completely honest here. I don't want to hear nothing else. Josh McDaniels, I don't think he held the news from us. He already knew that Jimmy Garoppolo had a foot injury. He already knew that he had surgery, which we already knew that he had surgery on the foot, and we already knew that he had an injury on the foot. What are y'all surprised about? What is the Raider Nation surprised about when it comes to this? He knew just like we did. And he don't want to rush him back. And I think that's the smart move to do for a guy that has a foot injury since December. Tyree Wilson, I think he has a little injury as well, but they don't want to force him back because it's voluntary OTAs. The word voluntary with a V is voluntary. I understand you want to get the chemistry and stuff of that nature. It's voluntary workouts. I get it. But he don't want to rush these guys back and then they tweak something and then they be out for longer. So I kind of understand what Josh McDaniels was saying, knowing I don't like the guy, but he made a lot of sense in that presser. And I wanted to hear what he had to say about the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. And people was probably putting out videos as far as this Raider Nation, putting out false narratives about the Jimmy Garoppolo situation where we already knew about Jimmy Garoppolo's situation before he even signed here. We knew about the Jimmy Garoppolo injury when he signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. So stop putting out the false narratives about, we didn't know. Josh McDaniels tried to hide it. He didn't try to hide the shit. Absolutely not. He didn't try to hide it. How can you hide something that you already know? You can't hide something. Yeah, I don't care about shit more. Whatever they're doing over there, best of luck to them. They don't have nothing to do with me. If he's going to be out week 1, let him be out week 1. I don't care. But what I'm saying is you can't be mad if he is out week 1, John Raider. Just imagine if he is out week 1. Are you surprised that he's out week 1? No. You're not surprised. That's the crazy. How can you be surprised about that? You can't be. So what Josh McDaniels said today, he's absolutely right. He's not going to rush his quarterbacks back. He's not going to rush certain players back because of their injury. Let them heal, and they should be ready by training camp. Come on, man. I appreciate you, John Ray. I don't want to be called the GOAT because I'm still growing in it. I'm still growing in this YouTube community when it comes to the Raiders. I'm still growing. I don't want to be called a GOAT. I'm a very humble person. But logic is logic, and making sense is making sense. That's all. I didn't even have to listen to the whole 19 minutes of that presser because I wanted to hear about everybody's panicking from Jimmy Garoppolo. Everybody's panicking. Today is May 25th. We don't play a football game until August, which is June and July and probably like the end of August. Like, come on. It's enough time for him to see what happens. We should be concerned around training camp. That's what we should be concerned about. And see if he's around for training camp. If he's not around for training camp, then that's a bigger issue that I have to address with Josh McDaniels in this organization, signing Jimmy Garoppolo. But now, since we only in May, I'm not really too concerned because Josh McDaniels don't want to hurt these guys in voluntary workouts, which I completely agree as a coach. I need all my players by training camp. I don't need nobody out there nursing the injury from OTAs at training camp. Absolutely not. I need all 50, all 90, or how many players that we get in training camp. I need all of them out there to give 110% and be 100% healthy. So I'm not mad at him saying, oh, you're not going to see certain players on the field because it's voluntary workouts. It's OTAs, y'all. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes a little bit. Black Raider, what's your favorite Raiders moment of last year? Mine was the Chandler Jones pick 6. Mine was too. But my favorite moment is when Josh Jacobs ran for the game-winning touchdown in overtime in Seattle. That's my moment. That's my moment. When he ran for the game-winning touchdown in Seattle. That's my moment. Josh Jacobs had an impact of a game in that game, man. He had an impact of a game when we won that game in overtime with Josh Jacobs. And hopefully, and just with that, and just with that, I just feel like when it comes to it, Devontae Adams said what he had to say. Sherelle, stop. Sherelle, stop, mamas. But my cat is acting weird. But I am going to head over here, man. I wouldn't be surprised because I seen Jimmy get hurt season after season. If he's out week 1, is what we praying for is the best. Facts. What we praying for is the best. It seemed like everything is stagnant with the whole Josh Jacobs situation and that nature and that there. But I came and hung out with y'all to get the press conference going. But Jimmy Garoppolo is right now, he had surgery in March. He's healing from that. And let's see where it goes from there. Let's see where it goes from there. If it is another press conference coming up soon, then I will actually do it if I can. But if not, it is what it is. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Spotlight Football Talk, man. I'm going to try to do some more content on here as much as possible, knowing that I do have another channel called The Darian Hopkins Show. Make sure y'all check me out at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm out of here, y'all. I will see y'all in another live stream or another video or probably in another press conference, man. We out. Comment, like, and subscribe. Peace out.